Hello everyone, welcome to Infotainment Lounge, and today's video is about tips to perform better in O-level and A-level chemistry. First of all, I would like to start with the typical advice that most of the teachers give to the students, uh, and that is that you have to prepare full syllabus. There are no shortcuts in chemistry. You have to prepare for each and every topic of each and every chapter. What I can do is to give you a few tips that how you can save an extra few marks while attempting your paper. So in order to do that, the most important thing in chemistry is that you need to know all the formulas of elements and compounds. I mean, it is very, very important for all the types of questions, from the for the questions of moles, for the questions of acids and bases, periodic table, metals, extraction of metals. I mean, come on, this is chemistry after all. There is no chemistry without formulas. You need to learn the formulas of chemicals. So this is very, very important. The next thing I would like to recommend is that whenever you are giving an equation in your exam, always write a balanced equation. Even if there are no marks for balancing the equation, still write a balanced equation because in some way it would definitely help you get a few extra marks. Even if not in that part of the question, then in another part of the question it would be helping you out. Then another thing which is often neglected by many students is the conversion of units. Right, I'm talking about the very basics of chemistry, like the conversion of units from kilogram to gram, from tons to grams, or tons to kilograms, or decimeter cube to centimeter cube to decimeter cube. You need to know these conversions, but these conversions are often taken lightly by the students, and in many cases they cost you a few extra marks. After that, there are actually a lot of things in your syllabus which you need to learn, but few of them are very, very important, and uh, learning the material is often a problem, but still you need to learn some stuff. And one of those materials that you have to learn is the colors of compounds, different compounds, all the colors that are related to your syllabus. You need to learn those colors. Then, in fact, if you want to do that, I will soon upload a list of colors of compound in O level and A level syllabus. I am going to upload it on my Facebook page. It's with the same name, Infotainment Lounge. So please like to my Facebook page, Infotainment Lounge. After that, there are identification tests in your syllabus. Whether it's about the identification of ions or identification of gases or identification of oxidizing or reducing agents or identification of a few organic compounds, these identification tests are very, very important. They are often asked in the questions, so you need to learn them, you need to prepare them. They are very, very important. Then observations. Many of the reactions that you will come across in your syllabus, they have observations, and those observations are again very important. They are asked in the questions, but students often neglect them and they lose some pretty easy marks. So do learn them. Then reaction patterns. Now, my personal advice to all the chemistry students is that it is very dry and sort of boring to learn all the reactions. So you actually do not need to learn all the reactions. You need to learn the reaction patterns. Like you need to know which type of element or compound will react with which kind of element or compound to form what kind of products. If you know the pattern, you can sort out the precise products for precise reactants. So learn the reaction patterns. Do not try to learn each and every reaction of your syllabus. That is too boring, that is too dry, and that is too difficult. So apply your knowledge of reaction patterns to find out the exact products of whatever the reactants are. The next thing would be the correct use of operators. We often see questions related to experiment designing. Now, they actually give you a scenario of any chemistry, typical chemistry lab condition, and you need to design an experiment to deal with that scenario. Now, most of the students get the idea that what they have to do, but they have problems in choosing the operators. Which type of operators should we choose for measuring what and carrying what type of reaction? You need to understand that. This is very, very important. You need to put the operators correctly, and that will definitely give you some extra marks. And mention the operators in the question. Mention the names of the pieces of operators that you are using for that experiment. Another thing is that definitions. Definitions in your syllabus, they are again important to learn. You should learn the definitions. Definitions do show up in your examination, and even if they don't, they have some connections. In order to solve the questions, you need to know the definitions of many basic things, such as types of bondings: ionic bonding, metallic bonding, covalent bonding, then oxidizing agents, reducing agents, oxidation, reduction. There are a lot of definitions: exothermic, endothermic reactions. You must learn those definitions. They are very important, not only for answering the question, but also for understanding the solutions to many questions. Now, these were the few things that I suggest that you should do while preparing for the examination. Now, while solving your examination paper, you need to consider a few more points. First of all, you are provided with a periodic table alongside your paper. Make sure that you use that periodic table. That one piece of paper can give you a lot of data. You can find out the number of protons, you can find out the number of neutrons, atomic masses of elements, you can find out the number of valence electrons, you can find out the total number of electron shells, you can find out if the element is a metal or a non-metal or a metalloid. You can extract a lot of data from the periodic table. I will soon upload a video about that, that what data can you extract from the periodic table. But this is very, very important to use the periodic table. It's there for your use. Keep that in mind. So use it. Do not ignore it. Okay, another thing, um, while solving the paper, when you are attempting a question, before starting to write the answer, read the question very, very carefully. Keep one thing in mind, that understanding the question is half its answer. If you understand what precisely they are asking to you, you would somehow manage to answer that. You would somehow apply your knowledge to solve that question. But a very common mistake is that students do not read the full question very carefully. They read the first line or the first couple of lines, and they think that we now understand the question, and they start writing the answers. And many students ignore the long paragraphs written in the beginning of the questions. They are very, very important. They are giving you the idea of a situation, a chemistry situation. You need to analyze that situation. You need to be there. Mentally, you need to be involved in that scenario, and then you can solve the question. Okay, another very important tip I want to state here is that whenever you are asked a question, if they're asking for one thing, do not give them two things. Do not write two answers instead of one. if they are asking you for one precise thing, give them one precise answer. If they are asking you for two precise things, give them two precise answers. Do not, even if you are confused between two options, still write one. Do not write both of them, because you will not get any marks for writing two answers instead of one. Okay. Uh, Another situation that students face during solving the papers is suddenly everything is going fine, but suddenly they get stuck at a part of a question, or they ask you about something which is actually not in your syllabus. Do not get panicked. In this scenario, go back to the start of the question and read the question again. If they have asked you about anything which is not the part of your syllabus, they would have definitely given you some sort of knowledge about that thing in the question. So there is no need to worry about that. Okay, then last but not the least, almost all the teachers advise this to students, but still it is ignored by majority of students. Do save some time for rechecking your paper. Must recheck your paper. See, I am a professional teacher. I have been teaching for many years now, and I have been checking a lot of papers through these years. And while checking 80% of those papers, I think that if the student had rechecked this paper, he or she must have saved a few marks, at least 2 to 3 marks. So this is very important. I hope this video was helpful, and keep on watching my videos. Subscribe to Infotainment Lounge, and also like my Facebook page. It is with the same name, Infotainment Lounge. I will give the link in the description. Thank you very much.